up to $600. esportsbets.com. Foresight, passion, and calculation.
Welcome back live from the arena, and we have our second tiebreaker match. It is a Group B that we're in, and we're going to see ourselves a match between Virtus.pro and Interactive Philippines. Of course, joining me is Cinnamon. Welcome back.
Thank you. I barely moved. I
you didn't move.
Moved
so.
2 centimeters on my chair
yes.
as the maximum. So, yeah, we kind of talked a lot about this match already before we got started, and it seems like across the panel, the general consensus is IAP is the favorites. I think all 4 of us even said that by slightly different percentages, but the fact remains, like, based on the previous games of, especially the previous game, I guess we could say, from VP and how IAP played yesterday, I think it's fair to say that they're the favorites. So looking forward to seeing what they're going to pull out here.
Me too. And I mean, even though we say that Interactive Philippines was the favorite, all the stats were kind of still close to that 50%. Anything can happen in this match, and a lot of it is going to be determined by the draft. We already see that Interactive Philippines picked up the Razor. Now, they played against Team Secret with this one, and they ran it as an aggressive tri-lane, which ended up working out for them, of course, because they had a very strong early game. Would like to see that again, to be honest, and perhaps this time they can hold on to their advantage, which has, of course, been their problem so far.
Yeah, it's against a team like Virtus.pro who struggle in the mid-late game. I think it's going to be easier for IAP to control the game than it was for them against a team like Secret yesterday. So should they gain the kind of early game momentum that they found in all of their games yesterday, I think, or at least 2 out of 3, then I think they're looking really good going into the mid game. On the flip side, just for Virtus.pro, make sure you don't lose your lanes, because IAP seems to be playing really good. I especially like to see the movement of their supports. It seems like yesterday they had a really good idea, and they, in the game against VP, which they already played, which they won, by the way, we saw some really intelligent play with IAP, how they spread around the map when it came to the mid game, where they show some of their hand on one of the lanes and gives like a false feeling of safety on the other lanes, and then they found some very well executed ganks. So I think VP have their work cut out for them.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking, because Virtus.pro is a team that has struggled as well with the later portions of the game, and perhaps they can fix that with the draft a bit. And actually, this hero is perfectly suiting in what I was going to say, because so far they have, like, when they did well, their problem was actually being able to go high ground and then be there comfortably, taking down towers, and actually back off comfortably as well. And Nature's Prophet is a hero that is made to go high ground, or at least he makes it easier to go high ground than some other heroes in the pool. I'm hoping for them that it's enough, that they can actually start taking down some towers early rather than just fighting without getting something in return, which seems to be one of their problems.
I believe we've seen both BZZ and Sidoi playing this. I think it's mainly Sidoi playing it in the offlane position, but it was one of the heroes that during the TI4 qualifiers, yes, it was a different roster for VP, but it was one of their very successful heroes. And maybe they're just like, okay, we need to kind of return to something stable. I don't want to call it their roots because it's a very old team, but it's one of the things that they've had quite a lot of success with over the course of the last year, pretty much. So, in addition to that, it was also a hero picked up by IAP yesterday. They ran that against Secret, and that was a big part of how they established the dominance early on, was that Nature's Prophet. But, of course, when they choose to grab that, the Skywrath Mage remains, and that is probably the most successful support hero of this IAP team. They love running that. They love running it together with their Jungle Sand King, which we still haven't seen, but could happen. Or maybe they grab the Shaker they had yesterday, which also worked well against Secret. They have a lot of options, I think.
Yeah, we also still have a lot of options for them
ban.
for a safe lane, because, yeah, they like running safe lane as well for Centaur. They like running the Tidehunter on the safe lane as well, if they indeed go for that aggressive tri-lane, of course, which we don't know, but it does start to look like that, or at least these two heroes do fit into what we saw yesterday when it worked. So I wouldn't mind seeing a Tidehunter getting banned out by Virtus.pro as well. And for themselves, I mean, even if they're not banned out, they probably need some fighting potential of their own. I mean, Ogre Magi, definitely a nice fighting hero to have, but it needs some backup. Nature's Prophet is in itself a form of backup. He can always teleport in when needed. But you need kind of someone to come to help. Like, who are you going to come to help? So they need some cores here.
Ghostbusters!
Who are you going to call? Well, not like him, because he's banned out. But which other heroes are you expecting?
Okay, I don't know where that came from, but
Well, which other heroes are you gonna see for Virtus Pro? Like,
I'm wondering, it's mainly about the second support and how Virtus Pro are imagining to play this. If they're just already set on running a safe lane tri lane, which most teams do nowadays, or a dual lane, or either a dual lane safe lane and then a jungler, or a straight up dual lane split. But I think they will want a secondary support that's good in lane, because they saw what IAP did to Secret yesterday. And I don't think they want to risk that having that happen to themselves. So either they dodge the lane, and there's the tide ban you were looking for. So BP has definitely done their homework.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm thinking a secondary strong support would be not necessarily a good pick right now, but I think should get it in the second phase here.
Yeah, and actually worth noting that even though Virtus Pro lost, of course, their first match in the tiebreaker, they still can make it to the winners bracket. If they just win both of the games that they still, or rather, if they win this game and if Interactive Philippines wins the next game, so it's not all on their side, and also, of course, depending on how long it takes them to win / to lose.
And they have a decent time rating from the game they lost.
Yes, because that was a very long game.
It's like 50 minutes, 52, 5?
60? No? It was long.
62 and a half.
I don't know. But it was a long game, and that has an impact. Like they need to have done their homework. Obviously, they need to be able to play this properly, and they come here to win. So Mirana, that's what it's going to be.
I mean, it's pretty clear cut for Virtus Pro. If they lose, they're already fourth.
Yes.
So it's kind of a do or die situation where it's not just that they're fighting for seeding, but they're fighting at a chance at still getting second place in the group, which is, of course, a huge deal getting into the winners bracket. So they will definitely be coming out guns blazing here. I think getting the Mirana is a good choice. It's arguably Jotum's most successful hero, together with, I think, the Treant. He plays very well and likes playing early roaming. And now they have the duo of Ogre Mirana. I'm not going to be fully set on this Mirana being a support, as we have seen G playing it as a core and BZZ also playing it as a core, so that could be the choice. It's just a nice and open pick where VP can wait and get a little more info and then base it on that. Now, the Witch Doctor, Skywrath, and Razor is a really scary trial that they don't want to face under any circumstances.
So if Virtus Pro is expecting an aggressive tri lane, their heroes, even like depending on what the Mirana is going to do, but it's not really typical aggressive tri lane material. So they would look to dodge it, which would mean that maybe Nature's Prophet's going to go up against it, which also is not really ideal, because he'll probably end up dead, because he'll get slowed and silenced. Can't really hide behind your tower all that much, because they can push out the wave pretty fast as well. What's Virtus Pro going to do? Are they going to try to dodge? And in terms of dodging, what we saw earlier today from a team, just not put anybody on the safe lane?
You definitely want to put someone on the safe lane. I don't think you ever abandon the safe lane.
Nature's Prophet?
Sometimes you abandon the offlane. Prophet could be there. They can assume that IAP will run aggressive trial and then run one themselves, or they can run roaming, or even do dual lanes, but then I would probably put a dual lane mid and a dual lane off lane instead of putting 2 versus 3, because I cannot imagine any 2 they could put that will stand well against this lane, at least not with what they've picked so far. So now they get the AA. So which one is the support? We just saw core AA played by Dendi with great success, especially his early game was pretty much flawless.
Yeah, perhaps you just want to say, hey, what Dendi can do?
I can do that. I can do that too.
Yeah, it could.
That
definitely
didn't look so
happen.
hard. Hold my beer. Well, I'm still going to say it's a core Mirana, just knowing G and how they've usually played. Ogre and AA also have really good synergy. It's a decent stun duration on level 1.5 seconds on the Fire Blast is not enough to set up the cold feet if the hero has boots. But if they're just a little bit out of position and you chain it perfectly, there's a really good chance you're able to latch the cold feet. And that, of course, makes a huge difference. That extra 1.25 second stun is usually what nets the kill. So
yeah, and
they're going to grab a void. Really good synergy with the rest of their lineup. Very well.
I was about to say exactly the same thing. I mean, looking at Virtus Pro, yeah, they've got some synergy, of course, as well. Arrow up onto a Fire Blast, which is nice, or in a Sprout. But overall, the synergy for Interactive Philippines, that's just quite insane. That Void, safe lane, by himself or not, doesn't really matter. He'll get his levels anyway. And I think even though he's going to probably be the core carry this game, even if he just gets levels, they have so much synergy that it doesn't really matter how much actual farm he gets. So that is a gigantic bonus for them. And on top of that, one of the things that we keep pointing out, Interactive Philippines not really has been successful in the later stages of the game, Faceless Void could fix all that. He is one of the heroes that later on in the game is just extremely strong, and stronger than anything that Virtus Pro has.
First of all, he's strong, and secondly, he's kind of straightforward. It's a lot easier. Like, miscommunication rarely happens with the Chronosphere, because it's like, okay, there's a Chronosphere, everyone is frozen inside this, we probably better kill some of them.
What are we going to do with this?
And the setup is obvious, right? You Chrono someone, you have Skywrath ult, you have Witch Doctor ult, and you have Razor draining someone. So if you land a good Chrono, like, this is a very classic lineup from IAP. It's very similar to what a lot of teams played, especially early on in TI4. And it's just been proven to work. So I'm with you as far as I don't think the Void even needs any sort of farm in the first 15 or 20 minutes. They probably wanted to scale into the late game, but this would be a good game to play the Void off lane or in a position where he's not necessarily expected to win the lane and get free farm, and they could prioritize that farm on someone else. I think it's more important the Razor gets big, and whoever the third core is should probably also get farm priority over the Void.
Well, actually, seeing the Weaver band out is like Virtus Pro is expecting Razor to be mid, Faceless Void having a safe try lane on the bottom lane, and then still an off lane needed for Interactive Philippines. I'm curious if that is actually the right train of thought here. And talking about train of thought, Virtus Pro doesn't have any time anymore to make their train of thought very long, because they are completely out of bonus time. They took all their last seconds to ban out that Weaver and end up going with a Wind Ranger. Now, we've seen her play today. Not too much success, unfortunately, for her. Because lately,
they did win that game, right?
It was Cloud9 that played it, and they lost. First game of the day.
Did they lose the game with Wind Ranger?
Yeah, because they played against Team Tinker.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's the one where they lost to the Ultra Axe. Yes. Yes. I remember. Yeah.
And Wind Ranger, when talking about Wind Ranger, what I've been told mostly is that Wind Ranger is a bad support, and if she's good, she's only good if you give her mid, which happened, of course, also earlier today. But do you think that's going to happen?
That sounds like a really biased version of the hero.
It's
sure
what I've been told.
Agree
with
with
Wind
that.
Ranger mid in this case, it's not your typical G hero. Hello, Jakiro.
I like IAP's draft a lot more, and there's a couple of reasons. First of all, I think there's a couple of things I generally like to talk about when it comes to drafts. One of them is ease of execution, like how hard is it to perform what you need to do. IAP's is very clear-cut. It's very straightforward what you want to do. You want to open with the Chrono or the Cask, follow through, get the burst damage out. You want Jakiro to combine with the Chronosphere. I'm not saying you need to land a 5-man Chrono and land, wow, you drop a Macro Pyre, everyone just burns. Yeah, if you do that, you win the fight, that's for sure.
Win the game.
But the thing here for IAP is they have multiple ways of initiating. Whereas, yes, so do VP in a sense, but theirs are a little more less reliable, right? Mirana, Arrow is not reliable. They have Ogre's Stun, which can open. Shackle Shot, also terrain dependent. You can't necessarily land it. And then in addition to that, when you look at how these lineups scale and like just overall in terms of what heroes are considered to be really strong in the current metagame, or at least in the metagame of the last few months, I feel like IAP has got a really solid set of heroes that are good in lane, in mid game, and in late game. Even a scaling support like Witch Doctor can make a big difference here.
Yeah, it looks like we are going to have a safe trial lane coming out from Interactive Philippines, but we might have a bit of a level 1 engagement here, as Virtus Pro actually smoked up with everybody and walked into the Radiant jungle. 4 of Interactive Philippines are here in their jungle as well, as the crowd shows us they're biased slightly for Virtus Pro.
Oh, y'all.
Let's see. Oh, he got scouted out, so they know where they are. I don't think they... Oh, maybe. Actually, we have Kajol coming out from the side. He's going for it. Arrow will miss, though, and Skywrath Mage trying to get away. Ice Path coming out. Skywrath will still end up going down. There's not going to be a return kill. They just run for it. Jottam gets RR and takes home a lot of money for that as well.
That was interesting to see, because it looked like IAP knew what was going on. Like, the entire group was pretty much dodging the gank, and then suddenly Skywrath decided to take a cigarette down here. He was like, just, okay, wait a moment, boys, or he lost his breath and just stood there for a bit, and then he got cornered by the Ogre Magi taking that new juke path. So, or actually, I think he did tango a tree, so never mind. But yeah, good start for Virtus Pro. They get the first blood. Who did it go to? It went to Jottam on the AA, so perhaps not the ideal hero you really want to have the bonus gold on in the start, but if nothing else, he can probably get some fast boots or a flying courier for the team, which is always helpful. Yeah,
I normally like that, having the first blood gold, or at least some extra gold at the start on a support, just to get that extra first set of wards, just to get the courier up fast and not pressure the other support for trying to get some farm with some neutrals or something like that. Let's take a look at who's playing what, and also then how the lanes are shaping up here, of course. We have got Interactive Philippines Execration playing on the Radiant team. And it is Fox playing the Jakiro, RR, the one that already died once. It is Skywrath Mage for him. Chemo, captain of the team, will play the Witch Doctor. In the middle lane, we have got Jay taking on the Razor and then piloting the Faceless Void. It is Ew playing the Faceless Void, which you already just said. Awesome.
Oh. Well, bottom lane, they're going to have a concussive shot going on to Yol. Not really going to try to go for a play here, playing it fairly passively for now. But an interesting trial lane, this bottom one. I think this one can go both ways. Now, VP did get the first blood, so they have a slight edge based of that, but the trial lane of IAP is also very potent in its own right. Triple range. Jakiro is very tanky, rather, I should say, as a ranged hero, even starting with Ring of Protection, so he has 5 armor. And what this leaves is a Void against the Prophet top, which I would consider a fairly even lane, perhaps favoring the Prophet slightly. And then the mid lane, where Windranger's up against Razor, one of the heroes who can dodge, or not dodge, but outrange the Static Link and then turn it around with the Windrun. Windrun is more expensive than the Static Link, though, so you can perhaps make a trade-off on mana, but well, I think God is going to be fine in this lane.
Yeah, he's also going to get some help because Yul's already hiding behind a tree. We do have Jay very far away from him, but look at his health. If he actually does come back, he's of course waiting for that 2-minute rune. If he gets lucky with the regen rune, it's double damage, eats a tango, and actually Yul is already thinking like, this is a waste of my time. I'm just going to get the bounty rune and be done with it. We'll see if he just continues rotating bottom.
Good awareness from Jay here, though. They realize the Ogre is missing, so probably roaming for that mid lane and trying to make the gank. Now, he has already shown at the bottom again, so now Jay not afraid of going forward. He will get shackled by God here, taking some good damage. God will actually pursue this one. He does have a level 1 power shot. If he lands this, it could be a kill.
Yeah, let's see. First blood, or second blood rather, on the board. I forgot that for a second, but it's G just getting a quick kill there in mid. And and looks like, or sounds like Jay was really upset with that.
I think it was one of the VP players yelling, nice ah. That's what it sounded like. Yeah, bottom lane. Good
nice.
ice path.
Very nice. BZZ still in a lot of trouble. Stick charge is keeping him alive, and he's actually going to be able to fly away from that one, or run away. Flying is what Skywrath Mage did before he died. Jotum still very low, but he pops his salve, and he's trying to get Fox still, or at least get some extra damage in on the supports here on the side of Interactive Philippines. Gets a cask for its trouble, and it comes back to him. Another ice path. Jotum in some trouble, will end up going down. Witch Doctor still end up going down as well, though. I think he got picked off by the arrow coming out from BZZ, who leaps towards the low ground, gets chased by an arcane bolt, but it won't take him down enough.
A nice sniper arrow there coming out from BCZ here. And the aggressive trialing from Virtus Pro is really working out. It's working out better than I thought it would. And one of the main reasons this is working as well as it is that Witch Doctor's level 1. And just getting that 1 point up in Voodoo Restoration and Try versus Trialing is absolutely huge, and that's going to make a big difference. He will be claiming that now. The question is if it's too late. The other heroes are pretty much all level 3. The nukes are starting to hurt so much that maybe you can burst someone down and the heal does not become relevant enough. We're going to see when we get the next engagement.
Yeah, the levels, that's always something that is troublesome on tri lanes. Even if you're aggressive tri-laning or safe tri-laning, whenever you're having to share your experience with 2 other people, it's going to be a nuisance to the game, and it just depends on if you can actually get something in the lane in terms of kills, or maybe if you can pull, which they can't because it is blocked. So unfortunately, no such luck. So they have to just
another
get
haste from Ogre. He's going to run in. They're going to go on the Witch Dock.
Well, let's
okay,
see.
They're going on 1 each.
Everybody kills something else. Well, Fox is the first one to feel it by the looks of it. There we go. Arrow finds him. They're already taking out the Ancient Apparition in return, though. It is going to be Chemo locked in a Sprout. Welcome to the fight, Seedoy. And that's going to be Chemo down as well. 2 for 1 once again with the support for 2 supports. And these exchanges just keep favoring Virtus Pro.
The one thing that VP did there, though, was to port in the Prophet. So it's going to give AOA a bit of space up in the top lane here in the Void. He's going to get close to level 6, which is when there is the potential of porting the Void to the bottom lane and setting up a Chronosphere with heroes in the lane that, to be honest, have really good synergy with the Void even before they have their ultimates. It's very easy to hit a Dual Breath and an Ice Path. Skywrath can do a lot of damage during the Chrono, and the Witch Doctor can keep his cask, wait until the Chrono is about to expire, and then even extend that stun. So the options are definitely there for IAP once that happens, but of course the Wrath of Nature will be coming at around the same time, and that one can kind of be a Tri versus Tri-lane breaker.
Yeah, one thing, of course, we also have to keep in mind is that with Nature's Prophet actually rotating towards the bottom lane, that Faceless Void got some free time up top, and is almost level 6. And once he's level 6, we could also see him teleport bottom. Maybe not to do the damage, but to get the control going. They have enough heroes that can actually do damage from outside the Chronosphere to make a difference and to actually get a kill going.
Oh, he's actually going to go in his own lane.
Yep, Seedoy is the target. Let's see if they can get him. They have a Chronosphere if really needed, and they are going to use it. In the meantime, Jakiro goes down on bottom, but we're just seeing the Seedoy struggling for his life. He will end up getting picked off, and Jakiro going down bottom lane seems to have been just him out of position, and perhaps, yeah, an arrow from BZZ coming in as well.
So a 1-for-1 trade across the map. I think an even trade all in all, in the sense that, yes, it was perhaps a more valuable target for VP, but they also used the Chronos for it. He is going to live. Well, it takes the... Interesting, he wants to get bound by the cold feet here. A nice ice path as well.
Yeah, it's Fox coming back, uses some mana, gets stunned again. There's no follow-up arrow this time, but it doesn't seem to make a difference. You're blocking his path, and they will get the kill. And actually, the power shot still took out Chemo as well, as he was still very low from that engagement as well.
9 for 3. VP really turning on the aggression here. Looking to even damage the bottom tier 1, if not claim it entirely. With the Nature's Prophet level 6, he has level 3 in Nature's Call, which is up in 10 seconds to spawn the treants, but maybe they won't even need them. I don't think anyone on the Radiant side can TP in right now. As a matter of fact, they're just going to get their Skywrath Mage caught out instead. G just needs one attack. There we go.
Oh, he even uses smoke. Just
he tried to smoke disjoint the attack there, but not working. Nope. And this is falling apart for IAP really quickly. I think using the Chronosphere top on Prophet was fine in the moment, but they really need it right now, and now they don't have it.
That is a problem indeed, and at the same time, I mean, that Phases Void, yes, he's been left alone, but he is not getting the absolute free farm. He is highest on last hits, I do have to note that. And of course, we haven't seen the Razor making an appearance on bottom lane either. So when he gets himself a mechanism, if that is indeed what he wants to go for, then we could see a world of difference for Interactive Philippines as well. But for now, they're just allowing basically Virtus.pro to just do well on that lane. And to be honest, they can't really do that much about it, because if you have arrows, you have a Nature's Prophet, everything coming in towards that lane, and you only have 3 heroes that are already set back, of course, to deal with it, at some point it's just not enough.
It's surprising how much VP has moved relative to IAP, because one of IAP's strengths yesterday was their really good early game movement, but we haven't seen Jay leaving his lane once. I'm not sure how long he had the TP for, but TP support in the bot lane earlier from him with a level 4 plasma field could have made a huge difference, and they didn't try to make that play. And at the same time, Void has also been static top. I mean, as far from a farm perspective, they've been doing fine because they have the 2 highest CS as a result of that, but relative to the amount of kills they've given away, it's not really a good trade-off. And they have to deliver, because now the discrepancy in farm between the heroes on the team means that they have 2 of the top 3 in net worth, or they're kind of switching between Nature's Prophet and Razor right now, but it's really close up in the top, but then the others are just far down the list. Oh, yep. Jay forcing away G here. G has a haste rune though, so that kill is never going to happen.
No, in the meantime, the pressure on bottom lane is still so real. I mean, you look at the heroes, we know that Jakiro is played as a core before, and I mean, he's trying, but at this point, he's not really showing much difference.
Oh, he walked into it!
And the Shackle coming out as well. Chemo as well as Fox brought down. Brilliant play from Virtus.pro. In comes Ew, though. He only gets 1 with the Chronosphere. Gets Jotun. Will be able to get the kill as well. Jay coming in from the backside. He's actually going for BZZ, who's going to try to teleport out. Will be able to make it out. In the meantime, it is Phases Void that was not able to make it out. Now Jay goes on G. G does not have any mana left. Will we want to hit away? Oh my god, he's going to make it away. The tower is not bothering to attack him. Makes it out, teleports to safety, and Jay not pursuing the target that he could have gotten a kill on Seedoy. Is going to be his target right now, but I'm wondering if he can actually get that. Seedoy.
Oh, the plasma field!
Oh, whoa. Barely barely living, that is, for Seedoy. And there comes the brown boots into play from Jay. Kind of surprised to see him still with those. Let's see, look, take a look. Courier is now bringing his treads in. Yeah,
that's pretty late.
Like, it is.
Well, it's... Again, IAP, it's VP on the aggressive, and the TP's come in too late. Like, the response time is too long. Jay comes in too late, and he even had the kill on the Wind Ranger, like you said, but let her live, basically. He could have pursued and secured that kill, but thought she was going to die, went for the greedy play, and got neither in the end. So, really unfortunate for him on the Razor. He could have really used that kill at that point.
Yeah, G going for the bounty rune. Gets it too, though. R can't really do that much. I mean, one thing that's starting to hit real right now is the lack of levels. We do also have Virtus Pro still sitting on one level 5. Agent Operation, actually a pretty big level 5, but they are giving him a solo lane right now. Solo bottom lane is for him to get his level 6 up, to get his ultimate up. But Witch Doctor, for example, is still level 4 on the side of Interactive Philippines. We have two level 5s with the Jakiro, which is probably the one that matters least in terms of levels, although he is a core, so you do want him tanky because he has an enormous strength gain, and you want him to get that extra strength.
Oh, Jay.
By himself. He is not going to live through all of that one. Cold Feet procs, tries to run, but the arrow finds him from BCC.
Yeah, the synergy between Sprout and Cold Feet is really good when you don't have anything to break the Sprout with. It's pretty much a guaranteed land every time. Now they're trying to go for counter gank in mid onto G. Ice Path is going to connect. Do they have the damage? I don't know. I don't think so. Oh, he has a Force Staff. Never mind that. They're just going to turn it around on Chemo.
Yeah, power shot will actually reach the Witch Doctor all the way back. We're following this. Skyrat, though, ends up getting dropped, and it is a Fox. It is 4 dead people here, or rather 3 in the mid lane. 1, of course, still in the bottom lane as Razor still not off from his gank, and things are going from bad to worse for Interactive Philippines.
Yeah, this seems like a totally different IAP than yesterday. That the IAP of yesterday played with a lot of confidence, went for the plays, moved better around the map, and now they're just getting caught out one by one. Jay in no man's land here, just free kill. That's the tier 1. Ancient Apparition Ice Blast going to connect as well. If they hit a power shot on Witch Doctor, that could have actually even been a kill. He is so poor.
Yeah, 2 Iron Branches, quality. Or value branches, rather. They still have 1 tier 1 tower left standing, Interactive Philippines it is. And to be honest, I mean, Void is still not doing entirely bad, but he just needs so much more time to actually get up to the point where he can turn into that one-man army. And that's not why they drafted him. They drafted him to just offer basically a platform for all the spells of Interactive Philippines, but they can't seem to get those spells online properly, or at least not before Virtus Pro was able to kill them off. And now there's just so much pressure on that Void, and I don't know if he's going to be able to live up to the
Ice Blast. That's a kill.
Yeah, definitely. Multicast coming in as well. Nice Chronosphere, though. Up onto Yol and Jottam stuck in here. They will get Yol. They won't get Jottam, though, as Chemo is running for his life. G in the midst of chasing Chemo. He lands a Shackle Shot. Faces Void, stuck in the Cold Feet. Will try to get Jottam. Might be able to get him. One more hit. He will be able to get him down. It is Jay that gets a double kill. Also, Nature's Prophet fell to his Lightning. It is BZZ running. Doesn't have mana anymore. Will be able to make it out, though. G himself also should be fine. He still has a Force Staff as well and actually tries to turn it around. Eye of the Storm has been on for a while. Still is going to be there for a little while longer. Not something that G should try to pursue. And he thinks the better of it too, backs off.
And any sort of somewhat even trade for IAP right now is a clear win, because they will just get more golden experience by being behind. So pretty good fight from them there. Finally, might I add, they are the ones. They weren't the ones with the initiation, but Void was at the right place at the right time for once. And that just sets up a much better fight where they can combine their abilities. I think it's already taken him long enough to join up with the team. And like you said, yeah, sure, his farm is good, but he could keep farming and keep getting good farm, and it wouldn't matter, because the rest of his team is suffering for it. So they need to use every single Chronosphere to try to find ganks, try to find a way back into the game. And now that Jay will have a mech and 100 gold, perhaps that team fight might even favor them. Even though they're behind by like 5,000 gold, if they don't take the AA Ice Blast to the face, they might be able to pull it off.
They got the combo to do it. And that's what they built for. If they can get that off, it all comes down to positioning for Virtus Pro. And so far, of course, Virtus Pro has been doing really well. They played to the strength of their lineup. Now, we know their problem is actually turning those strengths into more pushes. Now, they've already taken down 2 towers. And if they take this Aegis, I wouldn't mind seeing them just trying to go for actually a tier 2 rather than going for the tier 1 on the top lane. Take a fight with that as well, of course.
Yeah, they might be able to go for the tier 2 bottom. They do have the double damage on G, but that one should expire before they get down there, so they will be using it to take Roche, which is more than enough. I think they'll TP top and defend the tier 1, actually. Not interested in trading at this point, I would believe. And yeah, there we go. Prophet's already in. The other heroes will be porting in now. Void's Chronosphere is available in 3 seconds, but guess what? He's not in the right lane. He's in the mid, and they're going to get opened on.
The blink on G, positioning him perfectly. Witch Doctor ultimate coming through, though, and BCC has to already back out. Mechanism comes out. We'll keep that Jakiro alive, who was, of course, the first initiation target. Chronosphere BZZ to target and already brought down, looking for Jotum. People are invisible, they can't see them for the moment. Another nice
what a
shackle.
hacker shackle.
That is just insane. Jay will indeed die. They will, however, get the Ancient Apparition off the back of that. Buyback happens from the Nature's Prophet. He wants to be here. They can't afford to lose this fight. And it looks like with that buyback, G still blinking and force-staffing himself forward to chase everybody down. And it looks like he might be able to get this one as well. There's no mana on the Faceless Void. There's only one stick charge. It won't be enough to get
G is going to go for a Blink Shackle here, I think.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, how does that hit that way? I mean, I thought it was going to hit that way, but oh well. That works. Sprout up. Now he has a Time Walk again. Could use those stick charges with all those spells used, and that actually, the Urn Charge and Ignite shouldn't be taking him down.
He's going to be fine here with Strength Treads on. That was pretty close, though.
That was very close.
And all in all, a victory for IAP again. I think they got one more kill than VP did, and again, by being behind, get the better trade-off. He is anticipating this AA ultimate. Nice awareness here from Away, letting it land, and now he's going to run into Fountain.
Very nice indeed. And yeah, like you said, any fight that they take where they don't lose is in theory a win, even though it was even. And this was a fairly even fight for them. They did use a lot of resources. They ended up losing Jay, but they were able to make sure that they lived through that fight just such an enormously long time. And they got a buyback coming out from the Nature's Prophet as well.
Yeah, if he's going to die again now, he's going to be dead for quite a while. They're going to drop a Sentry Ward here. They're opening on Jay. I don't think this is a kill Virtus Pro can even take right now.
Oh, he has that mech.
Kind of neat.
Ult coming in. That mech won't do anything anymore. Nice cask will help out. Arrow will miss though, and BCZ will get forced back from the Mystic Flare. Nice Sprout can just do multicasting shackles. Chemo falls, and it's Skywrath Mage that joins him in the grave. Yul is going to be able to come in from the back, helps out with that. Godlike G on his Wind Ranger, and I have to eat my words because I said G. A Wind Ranger might not really be his type of hero. Well, he will make it his type of hero by just getting a blink and a force, be as mobile as he can be, and he just lands those shackles time and time again.
And it's just weird to see how IAP keep getting caught out in these weird positions where the map is entirely empty of other heroes. It's pretty obvious that Virtus Pro will want to group up and try to go for the top lane, and then they get one picked off, then they try to defend him, they get two picked off, and then a third one. And now Void is there, and it's too late. Now, if he's also going to get caught off as well, which he will.
Arrow, long-range arrow as well. The Starstorm will do it. No backtrack for you. Fox drops, and that's going to be another 3 heroes dead. Wind Ranger is walking a bit through the flames. Has to be careful, but of course, G still has that Aegis. As arrows follow Chemo, won't be enough to take him down. Jay, he's back in this fight, but can he actually make a change? Can he actually make a difference? I don't think he can. Another arrow flying in, but this one will not hit. Everybody on the side of Virtus Pro really low, so they won't be trying to initiate this fight, but another fight where IAP, they lose, and they lose a tower. No more tier 1 towers for them.
I think if this continues to go on in the game, IAP should have realized the pattern right now of what's happening. Whenever they move 2 heroes out somewhere and the other heroes are missing, Virtus Pro go for the gank. If Void is there for the counterplay, or Jakiro with a good Ice Path or anything, they can actually turn the fights around, but they just get outnumbered and I can't find the word right now for what I was trying. Outmaneuvered all over the map the whole time. So I want to see them try to go on the offensive. And if for Virtus Pro, as long as this is working, they should just keep doing the same thing. They're getting so many free kills, so much farm. Even though the heroes arguably don't scale extremely well into late game, just because of all the kills they have, that late game might come early.
He still got the bounty rune at least. Yay.
Good trade. Yeah.
Well, you said that you wanted them to be more aggressive, and they smoked up. They found a Nature's Prophet, and were able to bring him down.
To me, this is what Awe should have done all game. And it just took him 13 minutes to start going for the first real Chronosphere, and then he kind of had a short holiday again. And now he uses it one more time. If I'm IAP right now, every time Chronosphere is available, I'm hungry for a fight. Like, that's how they come back into the game. They catch VP off guard, get a 2-man Chrono, combine their spells that they drafted for that exact purpose with it, and every single kill really does make a difference, especially. You saw that one kill that just got in the Prophet? See that experience right there? It's like 2,000 from one kill. If they get a team fight going their way, they're suddenly leading on experience.
Yeah, especially killing off those higher level heroes. If you do have a Skywrath Mage or a Witch Doctor involved in the fight, they're still level 8. So any type of kill that you can get on the high experience, high level hero will make a gigantic difference, and it's definitely something that IAP will want to try. Actually, we have Jay sitting with an Invis Rune, a bit of a scary position, but it looks like they might want to try to fight this. His Invis Rune is not going to last for very much longer, and actually it's just Zito left here. He might be a bit bit sad that he's still left behind. He is going to get some backup, but it might be too late for him. Indeed it is. In comes the rest of Virtus.pro though, but no arrows flying just yet. Shackle does not latch this time, and it looks like
Virtus.pro need to be really careful. They were getting into very bad position.
They realized that it was not going to work, so they back off. And we'll try to see if they can find a lucky arrow.
There's no buyback on the Void, so they might be able to claim this tower. Jay is going to intimidate as much as he can, but I don't know if this is going to work.
His Eye of the Storm has already run out. Like, he has to be careful again. And
Fox.
actually, Fox, what are you doing there? Mechanism gets him up again. We have got BCZ picked off, stuck in there, and we
That's
got
what he was doing there.
But that is exactly what he was doing there. Worth. It is G that runs. Mind you, G has a godlike streak. Whoever kills him gets like 1,300 gold.
Yeah, pretty close. About 1,000, I think. Or I'm not completely familiar with the new values here.
It depends on who takes him down, because net worth, of course,
Yeah,
does get taken into account.
Kind of different now than it used to be, but at least a significant amount of money for killing off G. But good counterplay here coming out from IAP. They saw the opening, baited the Jakiro, who has the Yule Scepter, and I don't think VP were ready for that. Oh, it's the Chrono.
Oh, he misblinked! He blinked on the same location he was standing on, and now he's stuck inside that Chronosphere. The multicast comes out, though. Can't do it. Power shot and the Prophet ult. Down he goes. Fox, Yule's up in the air. Yule stuck there, but the A ult flies in, kills off the Jakiro, and Razor ends up being brought down by the Nature's Prophet as well, and it's going to be 3 down, and it looks like we're going to see a 4th drop, as it is RR running for his life from BCZ. Oh, it was fighting for the kill, but G gets it with the power shot. Stealing it from BCZ.
And just as IAP get a great fight, they throw it all away, but they got the tier 1. But it looked like they weren't on the same page there. They sent Away down hunting for the Windranger, but there was no backup there. He had to jump so far for the kill that no one was in range. And again, it's... For IAP, I was talking about it before the game, I feel like in terms of ease of execution, they have an easier lineup to perform, at least in this part of the game. It's pretty straightforward what they need to do, but they're just not on the same page in this game. They've never really gathered up the way they were supposed to, apart from that fight they just won 3-0. They don't ever seem to get the right initiation, and on the contrary, Virtus.pro are just jumping on them from all sides and angles and just opening fights all the time.
What do you think that IAP, like, is there any kind of thing that they can do in terms of items? Any specific item that they should look out for, and when they have it, they might be looking to fight a bit more? Or like, what did they do? Because they're like you said, they're getting outmaneuvered.
The BKB on Void is going to help, for sure. It's going to come a little bit late, and again, it doesn't solve the problem, which, for me, it's not about items right now. It's all about hero positioning and movement and doing the right thing together here. But it's getting exponentially harder now. There's going to be a BKB on the Razor and soon the one on Void, which will help them and make them... It's less situational how they need to play. They have more options to play around with, but at the same time, now they're playing against an Ogre with Ags at 22 minutes in. Y'all is 8-1 and 19. That's... this is pretty unheard of to have a 22-minute Ags on the Ogre. Combined with Arcane Boots and Urn on a position 5 Ogre? Yeah. Or position 4, rather. A is 5.
It is not looking good for Interactive Philippines. And Virtus.pro, of course, probably pretty happy. We'll see if they can know arrows.
Oh, almost. Really close there to hitting A-Way. I don't think that would have brought a kill with it, because he was kind of... BZZ was alone on the chase.
Yeah.
If nothing else, getting inside the head of A-Way a little bit here. And there's a Mjolnir now, picked up by Sidoy.
Well, this period of the game is normally where Virtus.pro struggles a bit, trying to go high ground. For them, in terms of finishing this game out, I'd say, like, try and bait Interactive Philippines out, because look at their position. We got 2 people farming the Ancients. I say 2, but it's just farming the Ancients with having backup in terms of a Skywrath Mage, but they can't really leave the base by themselves. They have to use either the buddy system or just stay in their base. What is being done with Chemo and Fox, because they just can't move out. They'll end up dead. So trying to bait them into going out, probably the best way for Virtus.pro to go about this, and otherwise, wait for the next Roshan. When you have the next Aegis, you can try to go high ground. I
think they should definitely just wait for Roshan, claim that. It's in about 30 seconds here, but the thing that makes it difficult for them to bait out the IAP squad is that they've got the Gem of Jottam, so they're going to counter-ward whenever they just get out a little bit on the map. They start taking some sort of control. We see them feeling safe around their own Ancients because they know there's no vision for Virtus.pro. But still, it's still good enough for VP. But this is out of the games in this tournament. Like, when you look at the kill discrepancy, you're like, okay, this is 35-14. VP are massively ahead. I'm still not counting out IAP in this, just because we've seen VP being unstable. And I also think this is a lineup, just the way the hero composition works, that it's good for them they're ahead. Because if this was an even game, I think IAP's lineup is just flat out stronger 25 minutes into the game. So If they execute it properly, VP could still be on the receiving end. God, he's pretty far ahead now, or pretty far up front. Well, he will get out of this, though. He's going to blink that.
I have to say, okay, so your plan, right, or at least rather Interactive Philippines plan, it's like they go aggressive. We want to try and smoke. They're still smoked, so not all hope is lost.
They need to move Jay with them right now, but he has to push out the wave first.
Chronosphere comes up on 2, but Joel and Jottam are right there. Wind Ranger is going to go down. Witch Doctor is filthy rich right now. Jottam bashed up, will go down. Buying time for Yul, trying to keep them back, but it's not going to happen. We did have a buyback though. G comes back. We'll look for a Shackle, finds it on the 2 supports. Power shot, but he can't go in on it. Too many people around them still. They have to be careful.
This might end up costing them the Roche in the longer run, but I still think that was worth it for them. That was a big swing right there from that fight. And that's all they need. 2-man initiation with the Chronosphere. Their other heroes get he's currently fighting into a Mjolnir and Blade Mail. Awa, you do not want to do this. Now you want to fight, and that's going to be another kill. Sidoi basically giving them a freebie here.
That's
that
4
was
deaths.
Very greedy.
4 kills across the map. I guess he was trying to maybe distract so that Interactive Philippines wouldn't go for the Roshan just in case they were attempting that, which...
I don't think they could have done that anyway, though.
Maybe Virtus Pro thought they did.
Yeah, well...
That's the only explanation I could give for him for being there, to be honest.
I might have thought he was able to fight the Void one-on-one, but with Sprout, because I think the Void didn't have mana for Time Walk, so he could keep him there. And if Void fights back into Mjolnir Blade Mail, he does not win that. But the team's just there to reinforce, and then it's incredibly easy. And BP... Man, just look at that XP and gold they just gave away. About 5,000 XP and about how much gold? 4 or 5K almost as well with that play. Even if they get a Roche, that's a really poor trade. There's no cheese yet, and that Aegis, I don't know if it's going to make the difference for them.
No, I think that if G takes the Aegis, I mean, he is still going to be the menace, but if you kill him, or normally they don't kill him first, maybe you kill him in a Chronosphere, but at least in the time in between when he is dead, he's probably going to get his teammates killed. Like while he's dead, his teammates will be dead too in the time that he respawns.
Yeah, and they just won't go for G now. I don't think there's any point. Because once again, the way he's itemized right now, he's 10, 1, and 15, which is incredible stats, of course, for the hero, but his damage output is not that ridiculous. He has a control build. His Blink 4 staff, he's building into Hex. Sure, you've got level 3 Focus Fire, but when your base damage is about 140, that's not really that scary. So it's the other targets that IAP will probably be looking for. I think mainly the Prophet is actually the priority target with the Mjolnir as well as the Blade Mail. They would love to chrono him and kill him off during their BKB so the Blade Mail does nothing, and then just work from one target to another. Or maybe even kill the Ogre. I mean, I think Ogre's damage-wise is way more scary than Gia right now.
He's just... You can't really focus him because you think like he is a support, so your main effort shouldn't be on a support. But at the same time, if you let him live, he's just constantly gonna multicast your team and make them just stunned up the whole time. So you can't really afford to let him live either. One of the things I'm actually quite curious about to hear your opinion on is, oh wait, hold that thought. Chronosphere, arrow flies in still. Up on Sidoi, he will get picked off there. Or
on no detection!
Oh, that is a mistake that they can't afford to make. BZZ should be able to run away from this as well. They're not done actually. G came in, he shackled the Void up, was able to get the kill. He's not yet done. And comes another arrow, will hit on Chemo. And that Ice Path, is it going to be enough to save Chemo? I don't think
what a turnaround!
It might be. Chemo at least bought his team some time. The Aegis gets burned, multicasts.
Damn, that's a jackpot right there. It got 2.
I was going to say, G still gets an arrow, gets a shackle off. They want to take down Jay, more stuns coming out, and this was exactly what I was saying. You can't let Joel live that long. He's just going to stun your team up. It looked like it was going to be a turnaround, but then multicast and stuns and multicast and more.
There's a lot of pressure on Away, and he's had 1 or 2 good chronos. That one was not a good one. He jumped in far ahead of his team. He chronos 1 target. There's no follow-up. They didn't Skywrath ult the Prophet, for example. He wasn't in range. They didn't have the gem near them, so they couldn't even see him once he got out of chrono. So essentially, they used a chrono on damaging Prophet 3/4 of his health, and they used 2 BKBs as well. Just pretty poor execution here, and it's going to cost them. Their recovery was pretty good, to be honest, where they at least managed to get 2 kills in their close to their secret shop, but that was still... They need to do better than that. VP will not let them win a fight like that.
No, and the thing that I mentioned that I wanted to have your opinion on is an Aghanims on Wind Ranger. Do or don't? Or situational?
Do when you have an orb that makes the focus buyer better, I think. I mean, the damage reduction goes to 0%, which, yes, you do get a damage increase, but I still think the interesting thing is that it includes unique attack modifiers. So if you have, like, a Maelstrom, for example, that's when I think the focus fire with Axe gets really strong. But if you do the math and you take an Axe over, for example, a Maelstrom, I think the Maelstrom with focus fire, even with reduced damage, I think it's still more raw damage per gold. Axe does give some stats, though, so it's got that going for it, but I'm still...
In this game, you would say no, unless she maybe picks up a Desolator?
I don't know. Well, if you get a Deso, the minus armor still has the full effect, right, even with focus fire, so that one doesn't even scale.
Yes.
So I don't know. I think if... maybe if you build something like a Maelstrom crit or a Mjolnir, then the Axe is is a possible build. I'm not really that big of a fan of it, but we'll see what God does. I think heavy single target damage is better. Like a Daedalus at this point would hit really hard. If he's looking for survivability, then maybe a Linken's or a BKB against this lineup isn't half bad either. Because he does have the wind run, right? As long as he gets that off before he gets chronoed, he's going to survive. Probably. At least with BKB, there's no way he's going to die.
Oh, they should... Yeah, I was going to say.
Got him.
Yeah, got him for sure. Arrow flies in, hits a Banu. They know they're there. The question
VP's
is
getting the hell out of here.
They've not been doing well. The last couple of fights have actually been slightly in favor of Interactive Philippines. Not all, but they have not been... Virtus.pro has not been as dominant as they were at the start of the game. So they seem to only want to take fights if they are basically the orchestrators of the fight. If they determine where, when, what happens, then they'll take the fight. Otherwise, they'll get the hell out. Last smoke gank, of course, for Interactive Philippines did end up working out. Was near the Roche pit. Unfortunately, this one it was purely their own mistake as well. I think if they weren't caught, if they weren't tricked by those illusions, they would have been able to catch out 3 of Virtus.pro with 5 of their team, and that would have been amazing for them. If only.
Yeah, it's still all on the chrono for me. Like, without a good chrono from AOA, I don't see them winning the fights anymore. And however, with a good chrono, they could take a fight 3, if not 4-0. It's still, you know, they're 14,000 and 10,000 ahead on gold and XP respectively, which is a lot, but it's about the distribution of value and how powerful the abilities of the heroes are already, and the fact that there's not a single BKB on the side of Virtus.pro, which I find to be a little bit cocky, to be honest, when you're playing into a Skywrath, a Jakiro, a Razor, and a Witch Doctor. Yeah. Witch Doctor, not so much. Maybe you could block the cask, but the Death Ward still hurts a ton. But I think BKBs in this game would be really good for them, and they're delaying them for now. I think they'll have to pick them up eventually if this one goes past 45 minutes, but it means IAP still has the comeback potential, because if the combo lands, VP can't fight for themselves. Oh, AA ultimate, just harassing him.
Yeah. I really love this ward, by the way, coming out from Virtus.pro, sitting on the high ground there, getting full vision over what's in the jungle, if there's going to be maybe some kind of trap laid down for them. But this way they will be prepared. As G is actually moving back towards the top lane. I mean, so far, they're just trying to control the map. They have got control over their jungle, over the jungle of Interactive Philippines. They place some wards on high ground, so basically they know all the movements of Interactive Philippines, they're getting starved to death here. And there's very little they can do. They just use 2 smokes. It is on cooldown still for another 100 seconds. Let's see if someone is holding on to it, because no, they don't have a smoke. Like
the next one's in 9 minutes.
Yeah,
that's the one in the
That's a problem. Like, what are they going to do? Are they going to sit and wait and hope that Virtus.pro pushes in? Because Virtus.pro, I think they're pretty comfortable in this situation. They might even, again, wait for the next Roshan so they have another Aegis. And they, to be honest, they're in a situation where that is a luxury they can afford.
Yeah, as long as VP are controlling the map entirely, it doesn't really matter what happens right now. They're winning every minute by just out-farming. Prophet is farming his own jungle. He can farm the enemy jungle. Right now, it's VP farming that one anyway. So I guess it's about 3/4 of the income right now is with VP.
Yeah.
So IAP have to do something. They have the gem on Skywrath, and I think it's time you make a little bit of a chancy play and you move out and try to counter ward so you can get a little bit of a comfort zone back on the map. They do have an observer ward here for themselves, so they can see this area fairly clearly, and if they go there, they'll be able to counter ward this one. Then maybe if they can find a way into the top lane, just push that out a little bit, they're probably going to find this one. And then suddenly the map opens up a little bit, and then you can get out and find some fights. But if you don't take the chance, you never get there.
Yeah, the problem is you have to be like on this side
to
be able to do it. They're going to do it. All of them. For stabbing him down, A-ult will fly in, but you know, it's just a saying like,
seriously, Jotum is camping. Like, he's been camping here for 2 minutes.
Yep. He's been sitting there, patiently waiting. He's actually really poor I just want to point that out. He is...
That could be because he's not farming.
I wonder what it is. Just standing still.
He is actually an artillery. He is standing there.
I also want to point out that 20
World
kills...
of Tanks professional.
20 kills on the side of Interactive Philippines. 8 of them are on that H operation. So he's not had a very easy time. He's been...
He's been focused quite a bit.
Yes. He's an easy target to take down. Probably the easiest in this game for Interactive Philippines. So he can't
by a large margin. He has less than 800 health, 35 minutes in. Everyone else on the dire side is like 1,500 or more. So, yeah, he's a pretty easy target. And I don't know, why is he not moving? Like, this is unreal. I don't think I've seen this before.
To be honest, if you're camping as an agent operation, wouldn't you want to stand further away so you have a bigger radius for your ice blast?
Yeah. Uh-oh.
No, it's fine.
What the hell?
I wasn't
What's he doing?
I wasn't a word.
This is
no,
absurd.
They see him, they see him. Ice blast coming. No, not in time. Oh, God. Yeah, okay. So he moved. Woohoo. Nice. Nice. Totally
well, yeah, they finally did find him, so... I mean, it was about time, right? It had to happen at some point. I'm just wondering what he was thinking. Like, what was the reasoning?
I don't know. He wasn't really in range of any experience.
Talking literally 3 minutes, I think. He was standing in that spot, just waiting to snipe. And like you said, if that's what he wanted, he might as well go further back and then throw the ice blast from there. I don't think he was stuck.
Nope.
No, he definitely wasn't stuck there. And even then, I think he had a TP on him. So, yeah, he did TP out. So he did.
Yeah.
It's just a...
So you mentioned enormous pressure on chronospheres.
Yeah.
And, well, we have a solution for that. More chronospheres, because we do now have an Aghanim's up on the Faceless Void. So he will be able to just maybe be a bit more freely with those and actually be maybe a bit more aggressive as well. Because by the time you lose a fight, you might be having your chronosphere up again by the time Virtus Pro pushes into the base. So we do see them being a bit more aggressive. They do move out altogether, though. I mean...
That's what they have to do as well. And I wouldn't mind seeing him getting a refresher here either. He doesn't need to be the heavy physical damage dealer yet. We're probably looking at that in about 15 or 20 minutes. Razor for now can do some significant damage with the Eye of the Storm as well as just his auto attack damage. And once again, the fact that there's no BKBs on the dire side means that as long as the Chronos land in succession, they can kill everyone with magic damage. They don't even need physical DPS in this game yet. And it's basically VP's item choices that are allowing them to do this, which isn't a problem so far because they haven't needed the BKBs. But should IAP realize it, go for the refresher, or just get a couple of good chronos and make the plays, then all of a sudden VP, they can have all the gold lead they want. 20,000 gold ahead. A 3-man chrono, I'm favoring IAP for the team fight. Like, that's enough. Just landing that, but it needs to happen first.
Wow. Another nice board location.
Pushing for the tier 1.
Well, let's see if they can.
Jottam, he is setting up his next artillery base here. He's currently walking back. Did fire his projectile, though.
Yeah, we'll see if
bottom lane, ice path. Got the Ilu.
Yay. They will get this tier 1 tower, though, although it looks like Virtus Pro wants to actually try and stop this. The tower will end up going down. Arrow will fly, BKB TP out from Jay, and he will...
chrono on Jottam.
In some trouble.
Got him.
Got him. What was he doing there, to be honest? That shouldn't be there.
I think he was helping Sidoi split push a little bit on the tower, which I think is fine. And overall, this is a good play from VP. They traded the tier 1 for almost getting the tier 3, and now they're securing Roche. The Chronosphere was used. The entire Radiant team TP'd all the way across the map. So getting to the Roche pit here will take a long time. And just a really good play calling here from VP to not port back and defend, but just go for the trade-off.
Yep.
And this favors them very, very much. This is also a cheese.
The cheese and Aegis, and... the potential to actually actively take a fight again, because it's been a while since they did that. And the last time they did that, they, of course, well, didn't take much off the back of it. They didn't lose the fight, but they would, of course, like to right now take barracks off the back of a fight. So gonna see if they can orchestrate it properly. We do have a exclamation mark or a ping coming out on the ward on the high ground. Somehow the Faceless Void was aware of it. He has, of course, got the gem now because that Skywrath Mage no longer has it.
This is funny to see. The Big Bruno is out looking for the ward.
Oh, I was going to call. Why did you call him Bruno? That's a bit of an insult, but he's actually called Big Bruno.
He's called Big Bruno.
Yes.
Oh, they still don't have to. Okay, this is good. There, it's in. They see it now. Chemo got it.
Phew.
Man, that's hard to deward.
Yes. It's hard to.
They dewarded that with 3 heroes. And Big Bruno.
Mission accomplished. Well, to be honest, where else could they go? again, they have to wait for the Aegis to be gone. Either they have to smoke, which we discussed they can't do just yet. It's close though to be able to do again, and you don't really want to fight into an Aegis if you have the choice. So better wait for a bit. They do have some
Arrow
protection.
I got a little too excited about that because there's absolutely no follow-up. There's like 5,000 range for the next follow-up. Yeah.
Nice leap. That leap distance is just so gigantic now.
Level 4 leap 900 range.
Yep.
Gets far away here. And a good call from AOA to not try the chrono there. I think the reaction time, BZZ saw it coming the whole way and he would be getting out of that. AA ultimate.
It's
harassing a little bit.
Pure harass indeed. It's really just trying to choke Interactive Philippines to death right here. They move out together or they don't move out at all. We have smokes picked up now by Virtus Pro, which is interesting because obviously they have almost full map control. Where are they going to smoke? Nice arrow dodge.
Well, VP have two choices right now. Either they push a lane and split push with the Prophet. If they go for that play, they go bottom with 4 and Prophet takes top, which is almost gone already, and there is no glyph. Or they simply gather up, expect to win a 5-on-5 engagement, and just go in. I think the latter is the worst choice. Split pushing now is definitely the better call when you're playing against such a heavy AoE combination here that isn't so good for the small skirmishes. I mean, Void Skywrath is good, don't get me wrong, but they have an Aegis they can even expend on that if they're interested in it. So the possibilities are there. Looks like they're pinging out the Nature's Prophet right now. We'll be Yuling as well as 4-staffing here. Zedoy's in a lot of trouble.
He is. He's going to be stuck in a Mystic Flare. He is trying to do quite a bit of damage here to the Skywrath Mage. Oh, Shackle doesn't latch. Ignite, multicast. Still, Yul can't really go in on that one. That pipe
bottom lane, AOA. He's found out BZZ doing some good damage here. Cheese is available, though. He's going to live through this, I think. Yes, Manta. No cheese.
Oh! Cheese! There it is.
He bashed the wrong hero.
Arrow flies in. He is able to dodge it, though, but continues there. In the meantime, on the top lane, the fight continues as well. G is getting a static link. J is able to get the Ancient Apparition with his Eye of the Storm.
Courier.
Hello. Bye.
All right.
Useful.
When I said VP were probably better off split pushing, this is not exactly how I imagined it. But they're still almost getting Barracks bottom. But only almost. AOA is going to go in on Yol now, doing some good damage. There's finally a bash, but don't know if it's going to be enough for Staff.
Ice Path is there. No, the leap is there first. Nice stun coming up from Yol. Well, in the end, the tier 3 tower top does end up going down, but it was 137 health, so, you know, grats.
Got it! Nice!
Nature's Prophet buys back for that fight. He ended up getting picked off, of course, and then 2 extra people died on the side of Virtus Pro as well, and not worth it.
That was so expensive.
They also lose their Aegis, of course.
And cheese. Aegis, cheese, 5,000 gold was what they lost there, and they got a tier 3. That's pretty poor. A pretty poor trade here for VP.
Okay, so I
Zedoy got a BKB. This is the right direction.
Yes. I know I keep saying it, the Virtus Pro is maybe not good in closing out the game, but you know, if they are watching this replay and they actually would be turning on the commentary, which I know most players don't, but what would you say to them? Like, how could they have played this differently? Because obviously this is a problem, like a big problem for them.
Buy BKBs, go 4 heroes bottom, start pushing. The moment Void goes in, pop your BKBs, have Prophet split pushing top, survive, turn around, get Barracks, I think, is the recipe. Because when you look at the Radiant side, they're actually, if they get the BKBs off before they get chronoed, every single of their heroes, apart from Jodam, will survive. And he can like, if he wants, he can still camp up here. Like, that's fine. If the rest of the team do get the job done, that's perfectly okay. But
he likes camping. He's found a new place. Oh, actually, never mind. He moved.
He is as mobile as ever, standing in the middle of the river.
Yeah.
He crossed it. Oh, no, that was too far.
Yep. Oh, he's going to be able to move.
Back to camping. Well, I think, to be honest, it's a pretty straightforward situation for VP. I'm just still surprised that they don't get more BKBs against this lineup. It's just the ultimate item pickup. G finished off the Daedalus, as I was suggesting, if he wanted to go for the full glass cannon build, but I still think with a couple of BKBs they could end the game right now. And the longer they extend it, the more risky it gets.
Yeah, well, they find. I was wondering, like, what's the excitement about? But
how many times are they getting
I don't know,
these illusion? They've been illusion baited like 4 times this game.
They even use Eye of the Storm for it. Now I know it's a short cooldown, but you know, just that one illusion.
Well, it is commitment.
Yes. Oh, we actually have A blast coming in. You might think that's nothing, but this is a creep wave.
Not damage buildings.
No, but I thought maybe a creep wave is about to come in, but he timed it wrong. Oh, there it is.
Someone's gonna
Wow,
die.
actually.
Oh, they piped him too.
Yeah, just in case. Look at these treants, though. I mean, this might not take the racks down right now.
Tons of damage.
They didn't even. What did they really use?
They
to
nibbled
get
away at the
damage?
range barracks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's progress being made.
That's what you meant, right? Split push. Yay. It has been done.
Yeah. That's going to take a while if they want to win with Treant split pushing, though. I think they're going to need to invest a little bit more, which they will now. AOA does turn around, though. Good Chrono.
Yeah, BKBs popped up.
Actually,
Seedoy
pretty
for
poor
starters.
Chrono.
Yeah. Well, Seedoy is going to get picked off,
Still
so
gets
that's
the
at least
job
one.
done.
But he didn't catch G in that
I thought he got him on the edge. That's why I said good Chrono,
Yeah, I
but
thought
G
so
did
too.
get out of it, so. Only one kill, but still, it's a 60-second cooldown. So whenever they can get something like this, they should just go for it. The Axe pickup here is actually really valuable as long as they are aggressive with it. Keep finding the pickoffs. Man, this Ogre, what the? 9-1-21.
So
Axe, Shiva, 2k gold.
So look at the Ogre and then look at the Ancient Apparition. Oh, Ancient Apparition. You might not want to look because it might be bloody. No, it's not bloody enough. He ends up being able to teleport out. Nicely done.
AOA forgot to click his bash button. Meanwhile, they find the Jakiro here.
Yeah, there was some
Fox is gonna
jackpot
be
sounds
picked
going
off.
on the side of the screen, I think. Arrows into multicasts.
And this Mirana of BZZ is starting to get really farmed. Like, when you just look at the raw net worth, the numbers look really good for VP. Both Prophet, Mirana, and Windranger have been getting great amounts of farm. So, all right, that might be the latest Tranquil Boots I've ever seen purchased in a competitive match. 46 minutes. That's he gets some mobility from it,
Yep.
so that's kind of good. The armor, I think, is kind of negligible at this point when you have this low base HP. I mean, it's a matter of do you get caught out or not. If you get caught out, you're dead. So just getting it to move around a little bit faster, which I can agree with here, that's perfectly fine. And his bank account is he's pretty much stripped of money right now, so just buying all the wards and getting whatever he can out of this. So
and
it's
talking
perfectly
about
fine.
wards, right now, for Virtus Pro, their map is kind of dark. They don't have any wards up on the map. It's only Interactive Philippines that have one. They actually have one in a very unusual position for this late into the game on the high ground in the top rune, which is not something that you often see anymore in 46 minutes in. Void sitting on 24
when is Roche?
gold.
That's a good ping out here from IAP. I think they're aware that this could be happening soon. Roche will spawn in half a minute.
It's a shame they didn't save their smoke for this. I mean, they just used their smoke. We know how valuable those are. Weren't able to catch anything from it, and unfortunately, it will probably take a while before they have another one. But they will, like, is it right now that Roshan might be do it or die for Interactive Philippines? Like, do they need to contest the Roshan? Last time we, of course, saw them not get it, and in the end, they still won the fight against the Cheese and an Aegis. So, how needed is it for Interactive Philippines to fight for the Roshan?
I think it's pretty important now, because VP are getting to the stage now where I would imagine for 2 or 3 of their heroes, BKB is the next item. And when they get that on 10-second BKBs with Aegis and Cheese, I just don't think IAP can do it. There's too much pressure on them. So fighting for it is important. I think the most important thing is that VP don't get it. It's not that important that IAP get it. They just need to prevent VP from going for it. But right now, they're being completely contained inside their base. So there's a pretty good chance for VP to go for this play right now.
Yeah, I actually don't think VP saw that there is an Ags up on Chemo, did they? I don't think so. It's a fairly new item. And it is a high impact item. If you're talking about items that can actually change the status of the game, and Aghanims on the Witch Doctor is definitely one of them, and especially with a nice setup like Ice Path, and not even mentioning Chronosphere, because normally, like in this situation with such a short cooldown, you want to use it to pick one off and then take the fight of the other 4 of the teammates.
Yeah, I think they did ping out Chemo, though, so
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they're aware he has it now, and what IAP are trying to do is get Chemo his level 16, so. But you're right, it's another worry for VP, because how much control will they really have of this Witch Doctor?
Well, this Roche drops fast.
Yeah, he's gone.
Holy
that was
crap.
really easy for them. Aegis going to God, Cheese onto BZZ. But IAP has a pretty strong front line, right? You run in a Void with BKB on. He's going to be hard to bring down. 15 armor and then BKB. You have the Razor, 30 armor and 2,700 health and BKB.
Could put the Lincolns even up on the Void.
Yeah, they can even do that. And then just go in. And as long as those are the heroes being focused, Chemo can silently just stand in the back, click his ultimate button, place it well, and shit goes down.
Yep. I mean, there's huge potential in the lineup for Interactive Philippines. It just comes down to bringing it together and to catching Virtus Pro slightly off guard. And Virtus Pro, of course, are very well aware of the situation they're in. even though they're ahead, let's not forget that they're ahead with 15k gold, they're ahead with 10k experience, but at this point, like I would say, forget all about that. It's all about positioning and execution and being able to just get your game plan together. Decision making, captaining, both of the teams. This is not their strongest suit for that.
I would definitely agree with that. It's kind of been the Achilles heel of both teams so far in the competition that their decision-making in mid-late game has been kind of poor, and this is when that is going to win you the game. So whoever has the better decision-making now will probably take this one. The one thing VP is going for them is that their split push is starting to be really strong. Almost got the tier 3 mid, they've got the tier 3 top. The bottom tier 3 is starting to take some damage too, so...
There goes another tier 3. Oh, Fox is actually in some trouble. Will be able to force stab himself away with BCZ going. Oh, that's Kyra's mage. Gets away on 90 health. Arrow flying in on Jay. The damage, is it enough? Lincoln gets popped. More stuns. Multicast only twice, though. There's not enough damage to take Jay down. He will turn on his BKB and walk back to the fountain. In the meantime, their tier... Well, they're not their tier 3 tower.
Oh boy, anyway, just chronoed the ground and some treants.
Oh, not good.
Fast blink from Sidoi got him out of trouble. This is... Oh, and a good shackle, too.
Yep, that's going to be one
this could be game
right there. In comes the BKB, so Yul's kind of useless right now. Knows it too. Will try to go. Oh, he gets bashed in the middle of his animation. Will end up getting dropped. Gene's Shackle does not latch this time, but I mean, they got what they came for. In the meantime, on the bottom lane, they're still fighting as well. Ogre Magi bought back into the game. It looks like Virtus Pro is here to stay. They took the range racks in the middle lane as well. It is fights all over, and actually, Fox, you're outside of your base. Wrong place.
Oh, and the arrow too.
Arrow, Hex,
no buyback.
This could be it. Virtus Pro has just tackled their Achilles heel, I think, and just tried to go high ground exactly in the scenario that you said they should. Split push all the way. They took down Rex mid, top, and only one melee Rax is still standing in that middle lane as Void gets arrowed, brought down. There's only 2 heroes left alive on the side of Interactive Philippines, and it looks like they're not going to live for very much longer either. GG well played comes out. Virtus Pro take the second game here in the tiebreakers for Group A, which brings them to a 1-1 score. It's just one match left. Will be Na'Vi versus Interactive Philippines, and that game will be deciding if we're going to tiebreakers in terms of time rating, or if we have got ourselves Na'Vi to be the winner, because that's basically what it comes down to. Either Na'Vi or time rating tiebreakers. And
I think let's look at this realistically. So Virtus Pro lost slowly and won slowly.
Yes.
Na'Vi won slowly. So that means if IAP win fast, they're first.
Yes.
If IAP wins slowly, it's going to cut close.
Yes.
If Na'Vi wins, there's no tie. So those are kind of the 3 options we're going to deal with now. We're going to cut to a quick break, guys, and then we're going to be back with some more analysis of the game. And then, of course, Game 3 of the tiebreakers coming up right after that.
esportsbets.com, the service where gamers will bet real money on virtual events. Only here, the best odds and widest coverage of games from Dota 2 to Hearthstone.
We have over 200,000 users registered.
Join us. Prove that you are the best versed in esports. Who will get the first blood? Who will take the first Roshan? Who will win the knife round? Participate in the race of predictors and earn real money. The more bids, the more bonuses. Reward for your first deposit up to $600. esportsbets.com. Foresight, passion, and calculation.